Alright, day 2 on the Katy Trail. It is Thursday, it's not even 7 o'clock, and I am where the other one left off in St. Charles at Frontier Park. So, yeah, I'm actually in the commuter parking lot, but the Frontier Park and the trailhead is up there. Katy Trail runs down here, so yeah, I'm gonna go up there and check out Frontier Park and then hit the road. So this is Frontier Park. I took pictures of the little statues or whatever at the very end of the last video. I really should have looked at this place last time because now they are setting up a carnival here. Might just skip this and hit the road. I might have jumped to conclusion a little quick back there. There were a group of bikers, and I thought there were like a bunch of people, but it was actually just a group of bikers getting ready to leave. The stuff's set up, but there's no people there, so it's probably not that big a deal, but they took my water source. I bought this bladder bag. Was going to have half a gallon of water for today. Hopefully I can find some water. So, this is historic Main Street. I'm actually in the middle of it because it just happened to be where I came up. But, yeah. There's no people down here, so I'm going to run through real quick, and then I really need to hit the road before it gets hot. There used to be a sign up here, I don't see it anymore, but I think these are actually the old cellar doors they used to use whenever they were, like, for the wine or whatever. They used to keep in the cellar. Alright, so I'm at the end, I'm at the side of historic Main Street anyway. And I already walked down, I already biked down halfway, but yeah. Here is the Historic Car and Foundry Company. I feel like those two things don't go together, so I'm assuming there's historical significance to it. Maybe not. I have no idea. But, yeah, so every time I come to one of these little historic districts and stuff, I'm always like, man, I wish I could have seen this place in its heyday. Now it's just a bunch of shops. And reading some of these signs and whatnot, I think this was always just a bunch of shops, but just, you know, cooler, less modern shops that sold good stuff and not like crystals and rocks and weed, you know. So this is the log church. It was actually the very first building in St. Charles in 1821. And it's just right off Main Street. Main Street's right there. So this used to be an actual brewery. It's like a Chefly or Chefly place now. It might have closed up. I don't know. I heard it was, but anyway, so 100 years ago or whatever, when there wasn't any electric, they actually built this brewery around this little stream because they used this stream to power it with like the little water, not turbine, but like the little water So this is the actual boardwalk. Obviously it's been renovated, but this is the actual boardwalk, and it's pretty long from that they used a long time ago in Blanchett Creek. I don't know what you would need a boardwalk for, but they used it. I don't know. Also, right here there used to be like a really old, like, remains of like an old school wagon they would use, but the wagon's gone, so that sucks. I do have pictures of it though on one of my older videos. Actually, the old Katy Trail video, I have a picture of it. It used to sit right here. Not anymore though. So this is the Peck's Row building, the building that I said I know where that is. It was the first Missouri state capitol. It's the Lewis and Clark Boathouse Museum now, but this is the actual building. Obviously been renovated too. The sun's in the way, so you probably can't see anything. But yeah, that's the Peck's Row building. Alright, the time has finally come. I'm going to start on the Katy Trail. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's starting to get hot already. You know, I wasted all the coolness of the day riding around on the sidewalk. And speaking of that, there was one guy who, like most people, whenever I know I'm a guy on a bike on the sidewalk, which, you know, I try to watch out for people. I don't go very fast. I stop to look at things instead of just veering off and riding blind. But like, most people will get out of my way, be cordial, not be an asshole. This one dude was holding hands with his lady, and I looked at him, and we made eye contact, and I was just barely rolling along, looking across the street, and he just continues walking down the middle of the aisle, or the middle of the sidewalk, and I actually ran into him with my handlebar, like hit him in the abdomen with it, and he was like, "Oh, dude," and he got all pissy with me. Like, I'll apologize if I'm sorry, but don't be a dick. Like, he's seen me 20 feet before I ran into him. He's walking in the middle of the aisle, or the middle of the sidewalk, with his old lady. They're holding hands. I can't go around them on either side. I can't go between them. Oh well. But yeah, it's crazy how some people are nice and other people are just assholes for no reason. But anyway, yeah, here's the Katy Trail from St. Charles to Greens Bottom. Back here used to be an actual little park with a couple trails and like a view of the river and whatnot, and they came through and just brush hogged all the woods out a couple years back. It's been 2 years, I think, and they finally paved this little like trail, I guess, almost say like a gravel road through the grass. But I'm gonna run back here and see how bad they butchered it up. I don't even remember what this place is called. There's no signs except one that says "Not to drive your car down here." I don't know, because they took out a massive strip. I mean, not that wide. You can see the trees in the distance, but I mean, they took out probably a 50-foot strip all the way down this. They didn't put power lines up. They did nothing. They just brush hogged it and then let it grow back. And the trail's pretty much where it was, but just wider. And they didn't do anything with this. So I guess it just goes back to the river. I guess I'll run back there, but I don't know, that seems like a waste of time and energy and good trees to me. But what do I know? Almost ran into my first snake of the day. Black snake right there. I don't even know how long he is, because he's hiding in the grass. I don't think I'm gonna mess with him. I'll probably just turn back here. Alright, so I'm back on the Katy Trail once again. Every time I see that place, it just kind of makes me sad. I wish that we lived in a world where the people who make the decisions cared about the real world as much as everybody that pays, the assholes that make the decisions. But anyway, back on the trail. It's already almost 9 o'clock now. So this is the family arena, and the first 2 pro fight shows I actually got to go see in person were both in this arena. So more history, I guess. Alright, so I made it to that 43-mile mark now. So here's the bridge, it goes over the river. And so the Katy Trail goes this way. And this is where you go. So this will go around the overpass and up here to the sidewalk. And then cross the bridge, and across the bridge it forks again, and you can go either to Creve Coeur Lake or the Centennial Greenway. And I decided, no, I don't really want to do that because it's hot. It's going to be all out in the open in the sun. It's going to be Creve Coeur Lake and the Centennial Greenway, both, like, Creve Coeur Lake is a lake in St. Louis, like in town. So it's going to have a bunch of people there. And they're going to be old people going for a walk. None of them are going to want to get out of my way. Centennial Greenway is the same way, but it goes like through the townhouses and whatnot. It's going to be the same thing. So, no, general rule of thumb, I just don't want to, so I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm going to stay on the Katy Trail. So this is Ducket Creek, that George guy named after his wife, because he calls her Ducky. And it's not much, just a landmark, you know, little creek that goes through the trail. Or I guess the roadway, or I guess the railroad at that point. Alright, so I made it to Greens Bottom Road, and we're greeted by a squash. It's a weird thing to forget at the trailhead. So, the next stop is Weldon Springs, and that is 10.3 miles. So, I'm going to go across the street to the trailhead here, and I'm going to see, I know there is a little bathroom building, and I'm hoping there's a water source. If there's not a water source, I'm probably going to turn around, but if there is, I might keep going. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so I just wasted half an hour talking to some guy. He's a nice guy, though, and he knew a lot about my bike. But anyway, Greens Bottom to Weldon Springs. I'm just gonna, screw it, I'm just gonna go ahead and go. There's no reason not to. I mean, it's gonna be hot, whatever. The last time I ran, I'm 99% sure they will have water at Weldon Springs. I'm 100% sure there's a spigot. I'm not completely confident it's gonna be on, but worst case scenario, I have to come back. And the last time I did 30 miles in the heat with no water was Sunday, so it'll be fine. So anyway, Greens Bottom to Weldon Springs is 10.3 miles, and we're going to go a few miles, basically the same stuff I've been on, but after we cross Highway 40 and 61 overpass at mile marker 51.3, there is the remains of a structure, it looks like that, there was a structure from the quarry operation once located at the old Weldon Springs rail stop. So after that, we're going to go into the Weldon Springs Conservation Area, and we'll ride that for a little over 5 miles until we come into Weldon Springs. And so we are, Greens Bottom's at 45.7, Weldon Springs is at 56. So, yeah, a little over 10 miles. This should be, it should be rough. We'll see. Alright, so I am at 51.3. I think that was the number. I'm at the overpass for 61. So I came there, and after I passed that yellow sign, the sign with the yellow writing down there, I'll be in Weldon Springs Conservation Area. And this way goes to the Monarch Chesterfield Levee Trail and the Missouri Greenway. It's going to be more of the same, just concrete, you know, little parks in town, people in my way that don't want to move, that sort of thing. So I'm going to skip that too. I think they moved that structure from the quarry that they had on the billboard. It's all, I could swear, it's been a while, but I could swear that it's used to sit right here. But yeah, it's not here now. So in times past, typically there's a little stream down there and a couple meadows, and they're pretty. And sometimes you would go down here and then cross this little creek and go down there. But it's kind of overgrown and nasty, and I've already seen 3 snakes today, so I'm not going to do it. So this is pretty flooded out. And the technology trail that goes to the Technology Research Industrial Park, I guess, is right here. I think I am going to take that because it is pretty short, and it's usually pretty, but I'm sure it's going to be kind of swampy today. Yeah, it's pretty short, it's paved, and there might be a water spigot up there, so it's worth the mile. I was just going to say, this water's usually so nice and clear, and it actually does still look pretty decent today. And I know there's at least one person that's going to ask me, so I'll just say, no, this is not a good water source, and no, I'm not going to drink out of this because it is downstream from an industrial park. And I don't know that it comes that close to any of the buildings or factories or whatever, but still, just know. So I'm to the end of Technology Trail here. Nice little parking lot over there, water filters place, and right outside, right next to a stream, right next to the river, right next to the water treatment facility, and they have a water fountain that's off. What is the point of having them? 0-4 for the Katy Trail so far. Alright, so I'm back on the Katy Trail again. And I think I've only got 4-ish miles, maybe 3, until I get to the Weldon Springs trailhead. They better have the damn water on. If they don't, I'm going to the gas station and stealing a bottle of water. So there's actually quite a few of these all over, well, across the entire Midwest, really. The Lewis and Clark expedition, they had these little billboards everywhere, and so part of what they did in the Lewis and Clark thing was they mapped out the rivers and mapped out like the mountain ranges they seen and all kinds of stuff like that, and so they used like compasses and protractors and shit to like map the stars and whatnot, and they could figure out like where they were and pinpoint their location really accurately. So they have these all over the place, and like right here where I am, well, it says Underson Bluff, so probably right back there, but right where we are right now, on May 22nd, 1804, this is where Lewis and Clark actually camped. So And those things are literally everywhere. And if you go down the line and just follow them, like you got May 22nd, May 23rd, May 24th, like you can literally just follow the entire route that they took. It's craziness. Alright, so I'm in Weldon Springs, and again, I know there used to be a water spigot here, but there's not. So, I'm almost positive, if not, I'm on drugs, but there used to be a water spigot about 3 feet behind that thing. So, I just read the little pamphlet, and it said, the updated one says that the next water source is in Dutzow, which sucks, because that's at mile marker 75. I'm at 56 right now, so that sucks. But yeah. So Weldon Springs to Matson is 4.6 miles. It's one of the shorter ones, which is good, I guess. There's no water there anyway. But, so we're going to pass the Hamburg Trail. I'm not going to take the Hamburg Trail. It's like 8 miles, but I'll go up. One day whenever I do the Augusta Wildlife Conservation Area, I'll just jump on the Hamburg Trail. It's just a trail. There's nothing really to it. It's more of a connector trail to go to the lakes and park and whatnot. So, anyway, Weldon Springs at 56. Defiance is at 59.1, and then Matson is at 60.6. So, yeah, guess I'll keep going. Alright, so I'm in Defiance now, and this isn't technically a real stop, so I doubt there's water, but I'm still going to look around and see. I don't know, we'll see. So, I guess this is where you would call, like, the trailhead for Defiance. There's not really one, but this is kind of like the stop where everybody leaves their bikes. I mean, it's like half the town of Defiance. Defiance is just kind of like the side of a road. Okay, so I'm to these fields now. It's a super pretty section of the trail. So after I get to Matson, which is only a mile or so, I think it's only like 7 more miles to Klondike Park. So I was gonna skip it and just do a full video on it, but I think I'm gonna stop there, and they might have a water spigot because it's like more of an in-town not modern like urban people kind of park that normal people go to, and they have a visitor center. So worst case scenario, I can go in the visitor center, play dumb, and maybe they'll give me some water. So I'm in Matson now. Looking at this map. So I started here in St. Charles, and now I am here in Matson. And water is here in Dutzow, which is 14 miles, which sucks. But after I get to Augusta, and I go another 2 miles, which is probably about here, you go up a little ways, and there's Klondike Park, and I'm thinking that Klondike Park should have water, and even if it doesn't, it'll be another like 6 miles to get to water in Dutzow, so whatever. I'm 3/4 of the way there. I was worried, but I can do it for sure. Whew, goodness gracious. Alright, so Matson to Augusta. This is 5.7 miles, and so Tavern Bluffs, which you can see across the river, I'll stop and take pictures if I get a chance, but this is where the episode from the Lewis and Clark expedition where Meriwether Lewis fell like 20 feet off a cliff and used his knife in the rock to actually stop himself. And apparently it's like a true story. There's like multiple accounts of it happening, but yeah, there's like a famous painting from it or whatever. But, yeah, so apparently that was Tavern Bluffs, which are about 1.5 miles down the trail and across the river, but I'll stop and take pictures of them. And then there are also like Basilica things and Klondike Park, and yeah, there's different cool things to see here. But yeah, so Matson, we're at 60.6. Augusta's at 66. Oh, and 63 is Klondike. Okay, we're only 3 miles from Klondike Park. I thought it was on the other side of Augusta. Yeah, it's a cakewalk. I'll stop in Klondike Park and hopefully lap it up in some water. So this is the Daniel Boone Judgment Memorial Tree, and I guess this is the tree. I'm not really sure what happened with the tree. Is this? Yeah, I don't really know. I've heard a lot about the Daniel Boone Memorial Tree, obviously, because I grew up, 40 miles from here. But, to be honest, I have no idea what's up with the tree. So this is the Klondike boat ramp, and they're actually loading people into like this river cruise. Yeah, it's a nice boat to hang out on for a week. Down here going to the Klondike Trail, there are patches everywhere of raspberries and blackberries. I really wish I'd brought a container. Oh, I forgot to say about those berries back there. You can eat the black ones. Don't eat the red ones. And also, yeah, I only ate 4 or 5 because I haven't had any water in a while, and maybe that might be bad. So this little stream runs down by this rock wall, and I was really hoping that the water would be pretty clear, or there'd be a spring somewhere. It'd just be bubbling up, springing somewhere. And, oh man, yeah, that sucks. Okay, I'm at Klondike Park, and I'm really feeling it. That's not a good sign. So I'm gonna go into this store. Hopefully it's open, and see if they have any water in there. Nope, I pulled on the door and it's locked. I'm gonna do a quick lap around this park and see if I can find a water spigot, and if not, I'm gonna have to call somebody to pick me up. I mean, I'm starting to get lightheaded. Sucks. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Klondike Park, you're a lifesaver. 2:04. Yeah, I started this morning at before 7. Finally found water at 2:04 p.m. But yeah, thank God for Klondike Park. Alright, well, I've had my fun playing in the water for right now. Filled my water bladder up, feeling good about that. So, I guess while I'm here, I guess I'll check out Klondike Park. I don't know if I'm going to walk up the top of the cliff. I'm sure I'll be back, but yeah, I need to get going relatively quick, but while we're here, I'm gonna look at the lake. This sign says no swimming or wading. There's about 10 of these signs, and there are literally no less than 7 people that I've seen already in this lake. Alright, so that was Klondike Lake. I'm starting to feel better, so yeah, I'm gonna head out of here, go back to the Katy Trail, and keep going. Caution, falling rock, do not stop next quarter mile of this trail. Please. So we got what looks like it might be a rain cloud, and it would not make me mad at all if it just rained its ass off for about 20 minutes, but we'll see. Alright, so I'm in Augusta now. So Augusta to Dutzow is 7.7 miles, and so there's really nothing here. I mean, there's a couple little like old barns and stuff like that. The Labdy coal plant, you know, stuff like that. The majority of it's just farmland. Augusta is here 66.3. Dutzow is 74. It's, you know, just 7.7. So, So originally, the reason I did such a long trip today was I had planned to meet my parents and have dinner with them, and they were going to pick me up in McKittrick, which is basically in Herman, because it's only, I don't know, 25 or 30 minutes from their house. So they were going to pick me up, so I was only going to have to do this once and not turn around. So I actually called them to see if they would pick me up in Dutzow instead, because I'm not really feeling it. So yeah, Dutzow is going to be the end, but I mean, 39.5 to 74 is still a pretty good day, especially considering it's 94 degrees outside. Yeah, but this section is the one that I was a little concerned about not doing doing without water, because the last 5 miles of this, I'm not even exaggerating, is just a bitch. It's like you go into this cornfield, and it's like this slight 1-degree incline just so you have to bust your ass to keep moving. And it's hot and it's sunny, and it's I'm not kidding, it's straight through someone's cornfield. And there's corn on both sides and bugs everywhere, and it's dusty and sunny and smells like manure, and it sucks when it's hot. And it's like 5 miles with 2 little shade spots that are nothing at all. So yeah, I'm not super excited about that, but I just get it over with.
Alright, here we are. So, literally I'm going to pop over this hill, and I'm going to ride for just a few minutes in the grass, and then it's going to come into a couple big cornfields. I mean, for the next 5 miles it's going to be middle of a cornfield, hot, sunny. I call this section taxation without representation, that's what I'm going to call it. Yeah, I'm not going to stop a whole lot. I'm going to try to get through as fast as possible because it sucks. There's a couple things I'm going to stop and take a picture of, obviously, but for the most part, I'm just going to bust through this 5 miles because it's always the worst. Alright, so I'm a little ways through it. I am in my first shade tree. Always appreciate a good shade tree. So I got this shade tree and then that one up there in the distance. And then I think I got several miles with that one. I do have a third one before I get to the actual tree line again. But yeah, it's not going that bad. It is warm, but... So yeah, there's the coal deal, whatever it is they were talking about on the billboard. I mean, these fields are pretty. They're just huge. Yeah, better get on it. Actually, I forgot wrong. Oh, actually, you can see back there 5 or 6 little, I mean, there's like single big trees, but there's 5 or 6 little spots where you can get like just a second shade, which are super nice. But that's all over now. Here is the son of a bitch. I'm pretty sure it's over 2 miles. It's going to start out like this and then go straight through the middle of the cornfield. And like, if anybody that's go from Washington, you cross over the bridge by Mercy Hospital, and then you go down that cornfield and that straight stretch for miles. Yeah, I'm just going to be 30 feet off the highway doing the same shit. So, yep. Yeah, this should be awesome. So this little town right here, I guess technically also used to be a trail town. It's called Nona, N-O-N-A. And all there really is here is this old barn silo, yeah, like a grain silo, and then an old house. I'm not going to stay here long because it is hot. Okay, so I just got back into the shade, thank God. And, yeah, so that was no 5 miles. That might have been close to 3, but that's it. Well, it only took me 23 minutes to get through it. It still sucked. It still was not that much fun today. It's hot. But yeah, I should have only 4 miles or so left until, I get to Augusta. Or Dutzow, wherever I'm going. Alright, I'm in Dutzow, and that's it for the day. I'm starting to cross, so I had like the headache and double vision a little bit ago, and now it's starting to cross over into like nausea. So it's not even the heat, it's the sun. I need to get the hell out of the sun. So yeah, my mom and dad, well, my mom is already back there waiting on me. I'm gonna run to the water spigot right here And that's it for the day. There used to be a water spigot, I'm almost positive, right here. If they took this water spigot, I don't know how much more this Katy Trail I'm going to do without any water sources. It's bullshit.